Hi everyone, my name is Sumit. I'm a digital chess coach. In this video, I'm going to tell you different methods of drawing a game. Draw is also a legitimate result in chess. You cannot win all the time. Sometimes the games end in draws. It could be a mutual agreement between two players who agree to a draw in any position. But in normal tournaments, the rules have changed since 2015. You cannot agree to a draw before move 30. It depends on tournaments to tournament as well. There's a stalemate situation where the king is not under check but doesn't have any squares to move. That is a stalemate, and that can occur, and that is a draw. And there are other methods of drawing the game as well. So watch this video until the end to understand the rules of drawing a game, because it is very important to save a half point in a tournament. Sometimes it can become in handy in the final results. So watch the video until the end.
So how a game is drawn. So this is the last lecture, and we'll see the different methods how we can draw a chess game. How you win a game, there are different methods to draw a chess game as well. So we'll see it. Um, there are several ways a game can end in a draw. The game can end in a draw by agreement. Draws are most commonly reached by a mutual agreement between the players. The correct procedure is to verbally offer the draw or make a move, then start the opponent's clock. This is the procedure. Verbally offer a draw and start the opponent's clock. Traditionally, players have been allowed to agree to a draw if any point in the game. Occasionally, even without a move. In recent years, efforts have been made to discourage short draws. For example, forbidding offering draws before move 30. So this is the rule by FIDE. So go through it, how draw can be achieved. So you have to offer a draw, make a move, and then start the opponent's clock. And you cannot make draw before move 30. It varies from tournament to tournament, so you have to check with the arbiter. Stalemate, the player whose turn it is to move has no legal move and it is not in check. So here in this position you can see that if it is black's turn to move, there is no legal square because all these squares are controlled by the queen and the king. So this is called a stalemate position, where the king is not under check but he cannot move to any square. So that is called stalemate, and that is a draw. And 3-4 repetition, this is most commonly occurs when neither side is able to avoid repeating moves and without incurring a disadvantage. In this situation, either player can claim a draw. This requires the players to keep a valid written record of the game so that the claim can be verified by the arbiter if challenged. And the three occurrence of the position need not occur on consecutive moves for claim to be valid. So the three occurrences, the photographic occurrence can the same position can occur in different intervals of time, also not in sequence. In that case also you can claim to a draw. If the same position repeats 3 times, then it is a draw. In a 2014 amendment requires the arbiter to intervene immediately and declare the game a draw after 5 consecutive of the game position. Same position occurs or otherwise without requiring a claim by either player. So the arbiter can intervene if the 5 times the same position repeats. You don't need to claim it as a draw. FIDE rules make no mention of perpetual check. This is merely a specific type of draw by 3-fold repetition. And there's a 50 move rule. If during the previous 50 moves no pawn has been moved and no capture has been made, either player can claim a draw. A 2014 amendment requires the arbiter to intervene immediately and declare the game draw after 75 moves without a pawn move or capture, or without requiring a claim by either player. So that is the rule. If 50 moves, no pawn has been moved or no capture has been made, and arbiter can intervene if that is the case after 75 moves. There are several known endgames where it is possible to force a mate, but it requires more than 50 moves. For example, some knight endgames are there, with a pawn, and sometimes queen and games, or bishop against queen against two bishops, etc. Example, this position is theoretically one for white pieces, but it requires a lot of maneuvering, and if it exceeds 50 moves without any pawn move or capture, sometimes arbiter can intervene and declare it as draw. And there's a dead move position where if neither player is able to checkmate the opponent by any sequence of legal moves, and the game is drawn. For example, if a player has only the king and the knight and the opponent has only king, or the player has only king and bishop and the opponent has only king, so there is no the position is dead, you cannot checkmate the opponent, and the checkmate is impossible and the game is drawn. This is such kind of a position. There's only one knight, and that knight cannot checkmate the opponent's king. On the other hand, if the players still have a knight, there is a highly unlikely yet theoretical possibility of checkmate. So this rule does not apply. This rule supersedes the previous rule, which referred to insufficient material, extending it to include other positions where checkmate is impossible, such as block pawn endings where the pawns cannot be attacked. So all those positions will be taken into consideration when you declare it as a drawn position. Draw on time. In games with a time control, the game is drawn if a player is out of time and no sequence of legal moves would allow the opponent to checkmate the player. So that is another way to draw. In a game with a time control, the game is drawn if a player is out of time and no sequence of legal moves will allow the opponent to checkmate the player. No sequence of legal moves would allow the opponent to checkmate the player. So in that case, if you can declare the game can be declared as a draw. So we have come to the end of the slides and the lectures. So next is the exercise. I'll be giving you the exercise in the PDF format. Very basic questions. Try to answer those questions before you attend the first class, and we will discuss it. And all your doubts, please write it down, and we will discuss it in our first mentorship session in the first class, first week class, first session. So all the best. Go through the lectures multiple times, as much times as you want. You can use the resources, or probably use YouTube videos to understand the concepts better. And when you attend the first class, I want all of you to be thorough with the rules of the game. So all the best and good luck.